All right, couple things about when we get started. The key thing here is when the craft was stationary, the tension in the cable was 6,000 newtons. So before we start, we need to know what the weight of the object is. And if the tension is 6,000 up, it's got to be 6,000 down, even though my arrows aren't quite right. So this equals force gravity. So we need to know that before we start. So let's go to A and look at when it was being lowered to the seafloor. What was the tension in the cable? Okay? Let me block this out because this has nothing to do. So let's call this A. And here's my force diagram. I have tension in the cable, force tension. Okay, that's janky. Oh. Force tension, still janky. And I also have force gravity, which we know is 6,000 newtons. That's the weight of the object. Now, drag, they're talking about drag, it's just friction. If it's going down, it's being lowered, if I'm going down, drag has to go up. So I have a second force here of force drag, which they call, I'm going to call friction. And we're going to give it a number of 1,800. So sum of the forces equals 0. I have force tension up, positive. Force drag, why? Because friction always opposes motion and I'm going down. That's my direction of velocity is down. So force tension is up and positive. Force drag is up and positive. Minus my weight, which is 6,000 newtons. And all of those equal 0. So force tension equals 6,000 newtons minus 1,800 newtons because I flip these things to the other side of the equal sign, and I get force tension being 4,800 newtons. And you would think that lowering it down, the water would kind of get in the way and slow it down and it would take off the tension. Let's do up, which is B. It's going up. So that's just going to flip-flop where my friction acts. I have force tension up. I've got force gravity that's down, and we know that's 6,000 newtons. But also, since it's going up, friction opposes motion, and I'm going to have an 1,800 newtons pointed down this time because friction always opposes motion. So sum of the forces in the y direction equals 0. I should have put this over here. I didn't, but we know. And so I have all the forces. I have force tension up, so it's positive. I have force drag, which is down, which is negative. And I have force gravity, which is down, which is also negative. And all of those equal 0. So my force tension equals 1,800 newtons plus 6,000 newtons, and I get 4,800 newtons of tension. When I'm lifting that bad boy up. 4,800. No, it's not. It's 7,800. I am not going to start a video over just to correct that. I made a mistake. Leave me alone. Bye-bye.